I'll read from the book. I can take a liquor first. I would come home at night and drink and write. And then the next morning I'd get up and rewrite it because it didn't make sense. You cannot write under the influence of drugs. I'm here to tell you. And you know what? You can, when you read some people's work, you can tell. Okay. The clock on the nightstand read 3:30 a.m. when the telephone rang. Rumor had it the officials from the Irish sweepstakes sent a telegram. Anticipating the worst, I turned over, lit a Chesterfield, and took a long drag before I answered. "What you doing, sweetheart?" It was Henrietta Wild Cherry. The jukebox blasted in the background. Little Esther Phillips and Henrietta were closing down the Kitty Cat Club, and from the way Henrietta sounded, it was just another late-night call. I exhaled, relieved, and annoyed. What do most people this time of the morning do, lunatic? Henrietta, my best friend in the world, was the only person who had the nerve to call me at such an ungodly hour. Baby, this dive is absolutely void of real men. Just the same old players standing around drooling, Henrietta sighed dramatically. So, you'll just have to do. He popped his fingers so loud he propped his fingers so loud the sound came across the wire, as if he were sitting next to me on the bed. I'm having my last cocktail of the evening, and then I'm heading straight, as it were, deeper into the dark ghetto, where I hope you will join me at Gladys's Soul Food Kitchen, where we will partake in a fabulous breakfast. My mouth is set for smothered chicken, grits, and scrambled eggs. Stella, baby, Mai Tai, have another Mai Tai? Are you smoking a cigarette at this time in the morning? In my mind's eye, I pictured Henrietta sitting at the bar rail in the Kitty Cat Club, with one hand daintily caressing a frosty Mai Tai, and the other on the telephone, pinky pointing upward. I hate to be so common, but I'm so hungry I could eat the asshole out of a rag doll. You're both cackling like an old hen. Gladys's restaurant was open 24 hours a day, 6 days a week. The drawing card was Yardbird, served 5 different ways: smothered, baked, roasted, barbecued, and do not forget fried. It was the place to be when the bars closed late or when the church let out early. I could taste the hot, yeasty buttered biscuits, another thing that made Gladys famous. But I had to decline Henrietta's invitation. Not this time, baby. Too much to do around here, I said, staring at the pile of laundry on the chaise lounge and the dust underneath the chest of drawers so thick I could grow potatoes. Child, since you bought that old building, you have gone from being the hottest Dud muffin in town to being the last housefrau in Hyde Park. How the mighty have fallen. He changed his tone from a whisper to a scream, and vice versa, depending on how much drama was involved. You used to be the kind of husband I was looking for, tall, good-looking, and butch. Of course, the plumbing would have to be revamped. Now, if I need some help licking those damn S&H green stamps to place into one of those damn paper buckets, I'll sure call you. Maximum drama. Oh, I'm telling you the truth. Get out of that old house and come have a cup of tea with me, dear, Henrietta begged. Had it not been for Henrietta's advice and connections, I wouldn't have bought the 2-flat where I'm living in the first place. And Gladys was the primary reason why legendary drag queen Henrietta Wild Cherry weighed 300+ pounds. And if I didn't watch myself, I'd catch up with it. Every time I went with Henrietta to one of those late-night eat-a-thons, I had to let my belt out another notch. So far, I'm the same $150 I weighed in high school. However, at 33, gravity and I were going toe-to-toe. And so far, gravity had a slight edge. I felt a headache coming on. I sat on the side of the bed, massaged my temples, lit another fag, and sighed. Henrietta never failed to point out the fact that my social life had dwindled to nothing. I used to be a mainstay in the bars. Now I hadn't even made an appearance at the Kitty Cat Club in forever. I relied on Henrietta to provide me with updates on the children. Look here, child, let me put a tack in that page. You're always trying to side me and make me forget about things. I try to sidelight him. Speak of tea, baby. Rest your buns and let me pour you a cup of this. I knew I had to tell you something. Let me think. Oh, yeah, the dish almost ran away with the spoon.
Henrietta went on and on about who called him and who called before he called me. Typical drag queen shadowboxing. I yawned and stretched. With Henrietta, you had to put it in the comments yourself. Honey, child, baby, remember that tired old queen, Miss Dove? He began. Most queens, at least some of the time, were in Henrietta's opinion old and tired. Up on the north side, Miss Dove from the Duet Lounge? When I didn't answer, Henrietta asked, baby, have you lost your mind? You must remember the divine Miss Dove. Yeah, what about her? Him. I was half asleep, and I had a hard time getting the pronouns together. Sister woman has bitten the proverbial dust. How you say adieu, arrivederci, so long, bye-bye, baby, murdered. I was listening, but not concentrating until he said, murdered. What the hell are you flapping about? Who was murdered? I lit another cigarette, glad that I had the good sense to tell Illinois Bell that I needed an extra long cord on the telephone that I was now dragging into the kitchen so I could make a pot of coffee while Henrietta yapped. Miss Dove, honey, please try to pay attention. It will not cost you a dime. Miss Dove met her demise by assassins unknown. Unknown until the two of us get a hold of him. Until the two of us get a hold of him. Sometimes Henrietta can be so dizzy. Him who? He took a deep breath. Child, if only I had the answers to all of your questions. Are you listening to me? We have to catch this dark culprit and turn him over to Johnny Law. You don't think it was a Negro, do you? I asked. It would be one for the books for a Negro man to be in the presence of a white drag queen and get close enough to kill him. Listen up, darling. These are pearls. Using the term Negro is so low rent, déclassé, not to mention a little late in the day. We, the black people, are finally coming around to at least tolerating, if not totally accepting, the idea of being referred to as black. Except, of course, those of us who are so still stuck with colonial
nomenclature.
See, she's the educator. And she did write the shit.
Just a little more.
Such as colored or and Negro. It's a new day, and as Adam Clayton Powell is so fond of saying, keep the baby safe. You've been here too much longer than I have, Missy. Cut me a little slack. Will you give me some time? I said half-heartedly. Time wounds all heals. Get a grip. Have you ever heard of black power? Do incorporate black when referring to us. We will have a much easier time communicating, which is what you want to do with your best friend. Cool. I'll confess my sins of my not being with it to my sins of not being with it to the white-collared white man sitting in the curtain booth and say an act of contrition the next time I go to church. But for now, tell me what happened.
There you go.
This book moves like a bat out of hell. It's going to be a great motion picture. That's why I want my other time. It's fabulous. And where's the editor? You did the most amazing job. This book, you're going to have so much fun reading this book.
Wow.
Yeah, it moves like a bat out of hell. Congratulations, Sean. And everybody buy one of these motherfuckers.